You can say hello first. Where you are. You can say hello to the people when they come.
Hi.
Beautiful night here. Going to get the temperature. Can you see that?
Yeah. No, hold it, yeah.
72 degrees. Beautiful night. For our Canadian friends and Australian people, it's 22 degrees. But we're over to Studio 2 tonight. Tonight's hangout will be performed and produced.
That's your picture.
Yeah, it didn't work, did it? Crap. I don't know why. It's very early overseas, so not many people would be here,
No.
which is okay.
So why have you put me on first?
Because you can say hello to everybody.
Hi.
JP will jump in shortly, so there's my baby.
Yeah.
It's coffee chat with the chicken.
Morning, evening. You had 3, 1 went.
Well, talk
See?
to them. They're
See?
your audience tonight.
No.
This
No.
is your hangout.
No, it's not. No, I've got
What's
things.
your beef? You're going to
No.
ask people, what's their beef?
I've got things to do.
Oh, what, places to go?
Yeah.
Well,
I've got videos to watch.
Right.
I'm hearing bugs.
Tell them about the window and doors we bought.
Oh, you could describe that.
So you aren't going to do anything?
Yeah. Hi, Jen.
Hello, Jen.
You'll get to see Mr. Seeds in a minute.
No, this is strictly the Mandy, Mr. Gaines show tonight.
No, it's not. How's your day, evening? What's happening?
I'll play the music in the background, all right? Above the soldier.
I've got a beautiful evening.
I'm just getting older. Wow. I could sing operatic for them if they like.
You're just getting up, so it's in the morning there.
Sound on the pavement.
So you got to have your morning coffee, tea, breakfast. What's for breakfast? I see the serenading you, Jen. And no, this is not strictly my hangout. You'll have no one come in if you say it's just me. They enjoy you. 6 a.m. Friday here, and she's laughing at you. It is.
What time is it? It's PM Friday here.
Good question. It is 8 p.m. Friday.
So she must be on Central Eastern Time.
Yep. So it's 6 a.m. for Jen. So what's for breakfast, Jen?
I reckon a little bit of fried up leftover hangout. There's always bits and pieces falling off hangouts.
She says we're the sweetest couple on YouTube. That's nice. Bagels.
Bagels are good. Actually,
Yum.
in Australia they make bagels, but they're all too hard. I mean, they're like concrete. There's not a decent, well, I suppose the only decent.
Isn't bagel English? Hey, Steve.
No, not really. No, it's sort of predominantly you'd think of Jewish people
Evening.
with bagels, but it's not strictly Jewish.
So, Steve, it's evening for you? Let's see if I can play psychic games as people come in the room. I'll see if I can guess your time zone. It is 8 p.m. here on Friday evening. We have glorious weather. It's a very still night.
Yes, it's beautiful. End of summer.
And we had a hamburger for dinner.
I did a short video the other day, yesterday, in regards to the Ides of March, which is in reference to Gaius Julius Caesar, who was told by a soothsayer, beware the Ides of March. And my premonition come true because the so-called King of Freedom apparently has been betrayed.
Oh, Emma, you snuck in there. I
Hello,
just saw
Emma.
your message.
I can't see any messages, so I've got to get relayed.
Yeah, but I need to have both because that goes so quick on your phone. Emma says, hey, beautiful Mr. Seeds, thank you. And troublemaker Mr. Seeds.
Oh,
no
great.
beef here, just chicken. Hey, but Ella, I also need your blood type. What? Did I miss a message somewhere, Ella? You want my blood type?
My wife's blood type is usually a bottle of red wine over $50.
Yes. Hey VMAC. Evening. So you're just getting up as well. So
VMAX in the chat. Tra la 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 la. Oh, VMAX in the chat. Tra la 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 la. Blood all
yes,
on the chat.
it's
Tra
8
la la
p.m.
la la.
here. And as you can
VMAX
see,
will bite you on the bum.
as you can hear, he hasn't had his medication yet. I'm
Right.
joking. You were
I'll
saying.
stop being fucking happy. All right.
Oh, yeah,
All right,
yeah,
all
Ella.
right, all
Yeah.
right, all good.
Your favourite person to pick on is here. Is that VMAC? That's
We
Steve
don't
talking.
pick on VMAC. We like to think VMAC is that wild animal that was captured when she was very young, and we kept her in captivity. But no matter what we do, she still turns on us and bites us.
Ah, nice.
Sort of a love-hate
Cup of
relationship
coffee.
with very loud fangs.
I just love how everybody comes in and says hello to everyone else. Isn't that nice?
Yeah, that's what this medium was meant for.
No, I just think it is. It's nice everyone greets everyone and how are yous all. Now that's a good subject actually.
Well,
You know when you meet someone you haven't seen for a while or you pass by someone, oh hi, how you going? How many of yous actually mean what you say? And what if the other person turns around and you say to them, hi, how you going? And they turn around and say, well, actually, and they go into this long spiel. Is it sometimes you actually don't really want to know and you're just being polite, or you really do want to know how someone's going?
you know that
Have
feeling.
I just confused you?
No, you know that
I've just
feeling when
confused
someone
myself.
talks to you and they're acquaintances and they're okay, but they want to tell you your life story, and you stand there and you don't say a word, you just nod. When you're doing that, you know you should leave. You should like somehow press your phone and it rings. Yes? I've got to beware now? Okay, bye.
Hi, Hooker. Yeah, you know what I was trying to say? Like, because I have done it. I've been in a rush and I've seen someone and I've gone, oh, hi, how you going? And I thought, well, I've actually got to be there. Do I actually have time to stop and listen? Most times I do. Most times I'll just stop what I'm doing if I feel someone needs to have a talk. Just thought it'd be an interesting question. Yes, yeah, you're right, Ella. It's good to have human contact. Jen says, in the store, they always tell me I look familiar and then tell me their life story. Yeah, I've had that happen. But if I think I recognise someone, I will actually go up and say something. I actually say, sorry, I can't remember your name, but I'm sure I know you. Yeah, and I embarrass myself, but I don't care. And I'll say, sorry, I forgot your name. VMAC's feeling a bit peckish now, though. So watch out, she might bite.
We had a quickie hamburger tonight. We did that for Danny G, who's been asking. We made a burger in the bunker 6 months ago, and Danny wanted another one. We don't have a bunker, but I did make her a burger.
Oh yeah, the burger, yeah.
And I think we asked you guys the other night if you'd all, because you don't have to put your face on camera, just do a short video of some of the foods like cooking. I can tell you, I will come and watch them.
Yeah, so will I.
Because a lot of people I've known on here talk about what they've cooked a lot. And my favourite dish is this and that, and I make it all the time. And I'm thinking, just turn your camera on for 5 minutes. Even if you just show the ingredients, then show the end product. You don't have to do the boring things I do, like showing you how to cook it.
Can do. They can if they want.
Yeah, I know. Loads of people talk about their favourite foods, and they don't have to make a video. I'm not saying to, but I would be interested. Is really what I'm saying.
Ella's got to run down the road for a mini. You're going to run. Take the camera with you, Ella.
For a mini.
Your action camera.
Is it like a little black sexy skirt,
Come
Ella?
on.
Is that what you're talking about?
Video
High heels?
yourself running down the road.
Be careful.
Awesome's going to do that with her son. Just needs to keep his face out of it. Yeah, that's right. You can film him without his face in it.
Yeah? He'd probably, even just for a video for himself, he'd love it.
Yeah, Emma, and a lot of people say they're good when they're miserable. Sometimes you can just feel when someone actually isn't good and they just want someone to say something. But then there are times it's someone you might know, but you tolerate them and you think, oh my God, why did I say anything? Yeah, it's something about a tornado somewhere. Is that near you, Jen? Have I got it right? Somewhere in the States is a tornado or something?
I will give you some news today. Very sad news from New Zealand today.
Well, just put it on...
I'll put it on me briefly. Evening all. That's a dog chasing a troll away. But, yeah, very sad news from New Zealand today. A couple of gunmen, I believe it's 2 gunmen, went into a couple of mosques in New Zealand, in Christchurch, and last I heard there were about 10 people dead and many, many others injured. And the sickening part is, I didn't see it, but they broadcast it live.
On YouTube?
No,
on
no.
Facebook and Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah, so it ran for something like 17 minutes. Just sick people. I mean, terrible. But yeah, so that's the sad news from New Zealand today. Both countries, Australia and New Zealand, get shocked when things like that happen. Anyway, I'm only the newsreader. The weather for tomorrow here should be about 95 degrees, which is quite nice. But I shall put you back to Studio 2. It's her hair. I'm just giving you the news.
No, it's not my hair. I'm reading the things here. Why so close?
Oh, I'll go and stand in the middle of the yard. Talk about fussy.
Yep. It flipped 6 trucks over, Steve. Ripped off roofs and tore up trees. So where was this tornado? Yes.
We used to get them in
No hat.
Riverstone.
Jen's saying, where's your hat?
Oh, just had a shower. So my hat would get wet. I'm all wet and drippy, Jen.
You want to tell, is it Ella, isn't it? She's not here. Hi, Kathy.
Hello, Kathy. Kathy Weezer, I presume. I can't see anything.
No, rebuilds.
Kathy Rebuilds. Good morning, Kathy. And we're just a few weeks away, flying on a big bird across the ocean. On a silver plane. Just remember till we meet again.
Yeah, it was pretty sick what this...
You belong.
Was it 1 or 2 of them in New Zealand?
After about
Just-
10 dead.
No,
Well, they caught one shooter, apparently.
so there was 2 of them though.
Well, the presumption is there 2. There may have been even more.
But that's times like that, it's yeah, incredible how it got on social media, and it took them longer than it should have to take them down.
I did read one of the comments were that the paraphernalia found in the vehicle of the one they caught, it was a white supremacist group. So very sad.
You need to get your hat on again before you go on camera because you're naked otherwise.
Just showing you I got hair. It's probably I've got hair at my age because I kept wearing a hat all my life. But like I say, I've just got out to show, so I'm a bit drippy.
It is, Jen, it is, the world is getting scary, but the thing is, the sad part is it does stop some people from enjoying their life and going and seeing the world.
No bald spot, but yes, I am thinning for sure. I used to have like hair out here. Buffalo soldier.
Silver
But yeah.
grey.
I've been sort of grey since I was 27. I like to think of it as the new blonde myself. Yeah, so I haven't seen any of you, so good evening, good morning, good afternoon to all of you.
So VMAC will do a video showing us her lentil and something soup she
That'd be
makes.
nice.
Oh, yeah, I like lentils.
Yeah, a lot of people use lentils still. It's not old school, it's just something that even... I remember the very first time I had a lentil burger from a nice young hippie chap who worked with me, and I'm thinking, oh God, what is this going to be? Well, it had capsicum, it had onion, garlic, it had a bit of, I think it was silver beet, and it was all mashed up in with the lentils and pressed. You use as some sort of like a hamburger press, you know, the ones you get. And oh wow, Steve,
Oh, well, right, yeah, I wasn't
40
sure.
dead. See, that I only heard 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
So a white supremacist group. That's what I heard. But
I didn't realise there was 40 and there was 4 of them arrested.
unbelievable. Very
we
sad.
last heard there was, 15 dead and 1 arrested.
Oh, what Orson can do is just, if she's got a tripod, is put it on the food.
Yeah, that's good
Hello,
idea, Emma.
Jan, and only Jan. I read your comment today because I always say, "G'day, Jane B." It's only Jan because Bruce is tied up in the cellar when she's talking online.
Oh, okay. Hi, Jan, and I'll just yell out to Bruce who's down in the cellar. Just yell if you want me to come and save you. I'll get you out.
Yeah, terrible news. I mean, the world is not a good place at the moment. Have you got a tripod? I mean, I tell you what, if you've seen any of my videos, you'll see that I use an upturned lid on a biscuit tin
Now, hang on.
as a flat surface to put my camera on.
Yeah, now, hang on a sec. Awesome Hooker, are you still here? You need to do a teachy thingy together group thing, what is you do.
What the
I'm sure
hell
you
was...
understand what I'm saying. To
She's
teach
not much
people-
good as a navigator in the car either, guys. She says, yeah, turn left about 100 metres back there.
To teach people
Put you back to
how to
Studio
make
2.
videos. So you just use your phone, VMAC. See, just get your phone, put it on video, and whoops, I've twisted myself around now. Put it on video, and then save it onto your computer, or upload it to YouTube straight from your phone.
If Awesome's there, what I do is I'll do a video where it's just me holding the camera and I'll show you all the ingredients that I'm going to use, and then I'll cut that, and then I'll start it again when I've chopped all those ingredients up, and then I stop that, and then I show me putting them into a pot or whatever I'm doing. And I break it up. Cooking time for some things is an hour, but you'll only see a 5 or 10 minute video.
Who's that name? Hi, Charflair. Sherflair. Did I say that right? Sherflair. I'll just call you Sher.
Give us a quick look and I'll see. Your phonetics are not that good, are they? Chiflair.
Yeah, good idea, VMAC. VMAC will give it a go when her life slows down.
When her life slows down?
Yeah.
Well, she's only young, so it'll be another 30 years before I see a bloody video. VMAC, I'll be dead by then.
Oh, I just missed a heap of chat. Now I've got it. Jan says our cellar is completely finished, so he voluntarily stays down there. Okay. Oh, well, we'll come and join him for a drink then.
I can hear Bruce in the background. You can hear this very, very faintly, but here's Bruce in the cellar.
I promise to be good. I'll do the dishes. I'll mow the cat and wash the lawn. Just let me out. It's dark down here.
You'll be right, Bruce.
No, come on. You have to admit, hey Mel, when a man, make sure Seeds can't hear this, when a man puts the rubbish out, he thinks he's done 3 hours of housework.
Excuse me? This comes from someone that just sits on a bum and I feed 3 meals a day to.
You don't feed
Come on.
3 meals.
I drive you around like I'm driving Miss Daisy
I
around
don't
everywhere.
eat 3 meals.
I do all the shopping. But no, you go
Excuse
on.
me, I go with you shopping. I put stuff in the trolley.
This is shopping for us. I get the trolley, she just disappears. And then it's like all these mystery items. It's like letting go a 9-year-old girl comes and fills the trolley with bits and pieces and goodies. I buy food.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Jan's the same. Her hubby does the cooking, but she gets all the mess to clean up. I know.
Hang on.
Same.
Unfair. Interjection, Your
No,
Honour.
you don't always clean up after yourself.
Interjection, Your
When
Honour.
I
Sustained.
Cook, when
You've got to stop talking when he says
No,
sustained.
shut up. When I cook, I clean up as I go.
And
when
I
I'm
rinse and
finished.
clean up
Excuse
everything
me,
before.
Stop having a domestic on here.
Fine, I'm not going to cook again. Done.
Listen to Seeds whining. See, that's what VMAX said.
Whining? Jeez.
Yep.
I do clean up as I go along, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. I rinse everything off,
You had to get the last word in, didn't
and
you?
it's semi-clean, and she'll go, oh, I'll go and do the dishes. So she spends 3 minutes doing the dishes because there's only 2 of us.
Yeah, but who
I
taught
spend
you?
3 hours cooking.
I taught you to rinse everything as you go.
Yeah, so you're just admitting that I clean up as I go along.
Not always.
Your Honour.
Oh, how do I
can't
like the
get
Nikon camera? I love it. I love it, love it. It will get me started to hone my photography skills and slightly on the video side.
I don't know much about it, but I can tell you that Mandy took some photos last night, and it was black as out here, and they turned out like it was daytime. I was amazed. So it's a good camera.
What's Emma say? Yeah, the boyfriend vacuums. I feel like obligated to thank him all day. How old do you think VMAC is, Seeds? Be nice.
I am being nice. I'm thinking about.
Good morning,
30,
Danny. There you
32?
go. Turn it round now to Danny.
Oh,
Talk
Danny's
to,
there.
yeah, Danny's there.
Hello, Danny. I made you your bunker burger without being in the bunker. Little video, you may not have seen it. So I made you a burger. It was actually made on what we get in the shops, and I'm sure you do. They're like baked, very thin buns with bacon, pineapple on
the
top.
bacon, cheese and
So
pineapple.
I've got to cut it really
rolls.
thin, so we had a sort of a thin burger, but it was cool. Bruce had a Nikon, got a new Nikon from
Oh,
daughter.
wait, what's the new Nikon he got? Did he get the like the top of the range one or the middle?
Put you back to the studio.
Danny will check it out.
Maybe you could look at that and I could have that.
Well, it doesn't.
Well,
See, I can't. You have to read it to me now.
well,
I missed
it
VMAX
says,
chat.
says try 50s. I have grown kids and grandbabies. How many grandbabies do you have, BMAC? I bet I beat you.
Five
Yep.
grandbabies.
You're 3 shy. We got 8.
Yeah, we have 8.
What's the eldest? How old's Ethan? 13 now, I think.
No,
Yeah.
no. I don't know.
I'm not asking you. I'm
So
telling you.
read
He's 13.
Jan's comment. I couldn't read it.
Jan says, honestly, I don't know because it's too complicated for me. I'm with you, Jan. Love my GoPro. I do most videos on our trips. I only have 1 grandbaby. That's because you're still driving around so much. Your kids are just sitting at the door worried, waiting for you to come home. So I haven't got time to do any of the, you know, doctor and nurses. But I'll give you, I mean, I'm sure, because VMAC's lying about her age, she says she's 50s, but we'll go with that.
Yep, 8 we've got.
But let's work out what our minds do. We all think that we're still 30-ish. And I'm pretty sure most of you would agree with me. Your mind works on the principle of about the age of 30. Even though you get older, you still think. Like, I'll give you the best example. I think I'm still 30 when I go to pick up and move stuff around. And I sit back in the chair panting and puffing, thinking, what happened then? Because it's like, hello, yeah, you might think you're 30, mate, but you're not.
Yeah, turn it around on you. No, not lying about my age, just image. Yeah, yep.
No,
that's
it's
right.
not immaturity, it's the mind. We do.
I-
I'm the same. You know I'm silly as well. But if we do truly think along those, there's a word for it in regards to age of thought. Yes, but it's like, Kathy, you're dead right. It's like I'm quite lucky in the joint system. I do have arthritis. I mean, not bad, but we all get arthritis in the end. Most of us, well, 99% of us. But it's like you just have, the mind says you can still do certain things at a certain pace, and the body reminds you that your mind's got no idea what's going on. What were you thinking? It's like you'll do a simple project and then you think, oh yeah, I should do that in about an hour. And after 15 minutes you're sitting down and have a cup of tea. Then you do another 5 minutes and you sit down and have 2 more cups of tea. And then you come back the next day. You know what I mean? So you just got to learn physically to pace yourself.
No, I don't know what you mean.
I often say that I'm 100 years old with the body of a 99-year-old. But we just, by the time it rolls on, just like a big oak tree. You start off as a little sapling, and you grow up to be this big oak tree, swaying in the breeze, and eventually someone comes along and knocks you down. I swim 2 to 3k a day. I love swimming, I do. That's one of the main reasons I'm getting a pool here.
Well, VMAC, I can't
I'm
swim.
getting half of my chats cut
I know,
off. Did you
yeah,
notice that?
Yeah, that's why I said to you, I don't understand
Sort of, I'm
why
watching
that's
Jan's chat there or comment, and it was like 3/4. I could read it, and it was a straight line cut off.
happening. Well, VMAC, I can't swim or ride a bike, so...
Can't swim, can't ride a bike.
No.
I've offered to take her down for 20 years.
Yeah, what, you
To
said...
go in the water and
you
just,
said-
I'll hold you and
No,
you can
didn't.
just,
You said you'd just chuck me in,
yeah, I was
and
joking.
it's a good time to... way to learn.
No, I used to do it. All our kids swim like fish, but not her.
My grandbaby's the only child
Yes.
of an only child. That's what Jan said.
It's funny
Of an
what
only
you just
child,
said that
so-
about passwords. It's like, I'll be sitting there, because you've got different passwords for different things, and I get on and go, is it this one? Is it that one? And I tend to just go away and come back in 5 minutes, and I remember. It's usually the page or whatever it is up, like your banking or whatever, then you go, yeah, that's it. But you're wise to have many different passwords for many different things. I mean, it's silly to put in, like, if all your passwords were VMAC 52, you're probably going to get hacked. When I was a kid in the UK, no one really swam. Everyone went to the beach, or as they call it, the seaside.
He sank in the Great Salt Lake. Anyone's supposed to be able to float in that. I'd probably sink as well. I'd be exactly the same.
Yeah, I mean, VMAX just said that she's and I don't think it's immaturity. It's that flippancy, that the funny side of VMAC that comes through all the time.
We're young at heart.
Yeah, it's been the same for 20 years, and you still went blank. I'm with you, Kathy. What I used to do heaps, VMAC, is walk in water up to about your waistline, and you really have to work to do that. Walk forwards and backwards. It uses all of your muscles, and the best part of your body to get the heart pumping and all the blood flowing is to use your legs.
That's true, Daddy G. You know you're old when you have to scrub. When you have to scroll the drop down selection of the form to find where you are. That's true. Have you ever actually scrolled down to see how far it goes? Like, what's the oldest year? What?
You're talking, I put it on you.
No. Yeah, but I have to read this for you because it's not showing there, and then you can't read this.
Well, read that.
It's only coming up half.
Oh, well, half read it.
I can only half read it. No. We're young at heart. Yeah, I know, Kathy. The scrolls get longer.
What?
You know when you've got to scroll through and find your year of birth, when you're filling out forms like that,
Yeah.
and we have to scroll so far down because we're so old?
Yeah, when I do it, it looks like I'm playing a pinwheel.
I should tell them quietly how old you are this year.
I will be
How old?
208 years old.
200.
And 8.
Jeez.
Don't dismiss those 8 years, they're important. They're part of my youth.
Some water now.
1812.
So what's everyone's plans today? Well, those who it's morning or evening.
Actually, I'll tell you what's a good question, is ask them, because most of these guys are in the Northern Hemisphere, what do they normally have for breakfast, or they don't have breakfast? What do they have for breakfast? I'm curious.
Yeah, I did
Yeah,
ask that
it would-
before.
Here it would be a piece of toast, Vegemite, or nothing for me sometimes, or a
I've-
piece of fruit.
I've done that, Emma. I've got up and thought, oh, I've just got to go do that while I think of it. Walk where I knew I was having to go, and I'm thinking, what in the hell did I just think I had to do? Yep, done that. Jan had a really bad storm last night. So you're going to survey the property for damage. Oh, that's not good.
When you say survey, is that because there are public utilities on your property, Jan?
You had cereal, VMAC, and a banana.
Bananas are superfoods. They really are.
Mm.
The perfect go anywhere, eat anytime food.
Okay, so sometimes when people find out your date of birth, they say, oh, you don't look your age. Yeah, I know, I get that. I don't know if this is, yeah, I know. You get to a certain age, you think, is that a compliment or not? It's like when you're with your kids and they say, oh, you don't look old enough to have kids that age.
I don't get that.
But, no, but I do. But that, then as your kids get older, they might feel insulted. They might think, oh, how old do I look? It's just to look around to see that the shingles are still on the roof from any broken limbs.
I'll tell
Yeah,
them what
turn
we
it.
did today.
Banana and coffee for you, Danny. Yeah. I like banana. I like coffee. I'll come to your place for breakfast.
In Australia, and I'm pretty sure it's the same in the United States, when you move from one state to another, you have to change your plates by law. I owned this vehicle. I don't know if you can see it. No, it's probably too dark. I think you can just see it. I owned that vehicle in New South Wales, at a New South Wales address. So I was given a little bit more time to transfer it to WA. But the rigmarole, we've got to go, because when you're in New South Wales, you get a pink slip every year. So car's got to pass. In Western Australia, you only have to pass once, and they forget about you. But we drove down to this inspection centre the first time because it failed. And the reason it failed, we had about 3 millimetres of rain and the road was all oily from the summer as it gets. And every car was covered in that tar types, you know what I'm talking about, little flick-ups from the highway after a summer and you get a light rain. So we got there and the guy said, oh mate, it's failed because it's got oil leaks. I said, it hasn't got oil leaks, mate. He said, no, it's failed, oil leaks. Took it to my local mechanic, he said, no, there is no oil leaks, it's just all the shit that came off the road. Well, that first inspection cost me $135 and it failed because of this mystery oil leak. And then I went back to him after we cleaned the crap that came off the highway underneath my car off, and he passed me. But to pass me again, he charged me another $104. Bit of a rip-off, do you think?
Yeah.
But now we've got, took the old plates off from New South Wales and the new plates for Western Australia. What's it like in the States? You've got 48 lower states. What happens there in regards to if you move, say, from, let's just say, from Texas to New York? Do you have to change your plates in a certain amount of time? I mean, like you're moving, you're not just travelling around. You can travel anywhere in Australia with a car, but if you're living 30 days, says Jan, and they have to be plates of that state, I guess, like it is here, and then they charge you a fortune for them. Our registration for 12 months for the sedan was $865 for the year. Now that's just registration, and then I've got to have my own insurance on top of that. So yeah, it's very expensive here. I'm not sure what it is in the US to register a vehicle. 30 days to register a car with plates to the state, okay. 3 months in Nova Scotia. Yeah, I got 3 months here, VMAC. But it's the same in Canada, I guess. If you went from Quebec all the way over to the west coast in Vancouver, you'd have to change your plates. Your plates are $50 per year. $865, which gives me 12 months registration. It gives me third party, other words, if someone gets injured in a vehicle, that's part of the payment for that. But then you take out your own private insurance to cover your car. And again, that's got third party as well, along with comprehensive, if you want comprehensive. But man, it's very expensive. And we don't get the option. I know a friend of mine in one of the US states says, yeah, he's got 3 or 4 cars. And if he wants to drive one, he just takes the plates off one and puts it on another. Is that true? I mean, can you just take the plates off one vehicle and put it on, say, one sedan to another sedan and then drive that around? Or do you pay 3 registrations? Okay, I get that, Jan, and I get that, BMAC. Yeah, so it's very expensive. I mean, everything's expensive in Australia when it comes to things like that. Transfer. If I sold you my vehicle, say it was a $10,000 vehicle, it's $60 for every 1,000. So that would be $600 just to transfer it from my name to your name. That just goes to the government. $60 per $1,000. So often when you sell a car, the guy will say, I'll give you the 10 grand, but can you say it was 5? Because he'll save $300 or $400. And we all do it.
Well, what it cost you today, it's not going to cost the same every year. It's only because the
No, it
cost
would
of
be
the
$865 every year for registration.
I thought it was so much of that was because of having to get new plates.
No, the plates were a separate fee. I think they were 50 odd. Yeah. Anyway, that's my little story about what we did today. We transferred our registration from one state to another. I'll take you back to Studio 2.
No, leave it on you because I've got to go to the toilet in a minute.
Oh, well, she can take the camera with her
I'm
into
not
the
gonna take
toilet
the
and show you
camera
how...
to the
No, it's
toilet with me.
important because they're in the Northern Hemisphere. Their water goes round like that and our water goes round like that. It'll be fascinating. This will probably go viral now that you'll do that.
I'm not taking them to the toilet with me.
Fair enough. So yes, Caesar's not wearing a hat tonight because I just got out of the shower. During the middle of summer, I can get out of the shower, get dressed, and put my hat on straight away because my hair's dry.
And no shirt.
They don't want to see me with no shirt. Well, you probably do, but it's pay for view. Really. So what's happening today in your world? What's your beef? That was the title we came up with for tonight. What's your beef? What's giving you grief? You only have to pay taxes on vehicles we purchase. Gotcha. Mrs. C's bathroom is quality content. Emma, behave yourself. My beef today would be the terrible tragedy that occurred in New Zealand. Steve gave us an update. There's up to 40 people dead and many, many, many more injured, and quite a lot of a white supremacist gang. It wasn't 2, it was a lot more than 2 that perpetrated it. Don't forget the Walmart bags. Jan, and I'm sure you've done this, when you've been out in the bush and you're driving around, we would, if we had to, stop and pull out a little shovel out the back of the van, dig a hole, do the business, and like a cat, you know, cover up. But no, I wouldn't do it in a bag. You'd have to ask the question, after the bag is full, where does it go? In a bin, in a public bin, because that would get you arrested in Australia if you did that. You can't do that. In fact, you're not allowed to live in a normal vehicle. I'm not knocking the homeless, and they do on occasions live when they have to. Like, you know, someone's had a blue with the missus and the missus has driven off with the kids and they sleep in the car. You've all heard those stories. But they don't intend to live in the car all the time. Yes, you would be arrested and you would be punished with a massive fine in this country of Australia for that. We don't have plastic bags in Australia. You've got to take your own. That'll come wherever you are in the US. You'll all have that shortly. You'll have to have your own bags. They do sell bags at a supermarket, but they're like $2 or $3 per bag. So you generally forget the first few times, and then you think, I've got 40 bags. I probably shouldn't keep buying them. You know, when you pull out the boot and you grab a handful of bags, go in, and you buy too much. Well, you soon learn to think, how much shopping am I going to do? Yeah, move-on orders, they're called here, VMAC. You're literally given a move-on order. But no plastic bags. There are none. Just to keep all those people happy.
There you go, he's dressed now.
There you go. Back to Studio 2. Oh no.
Hello everybody, my name's Ricky. Ricky, the raccoon. I'm just going to stretch my ass for a second. Oh, that's a nice little dag there. Yummy. Hello. My wife's dears if you're good. Hello. How are ya?
So we do have raccoons in Australia. Is that the female raccoon or the male raccoon?
I don't know.
When the grandkids were younger, they were just fascinated by the hand puppet raccoon. They just were. Some were scared, some were like interested, some would pat it like they'd go, oh, nice, nice.
I used to have a koala, but I don't know where that is. Ella says the sun was glaring in my eyes and I thought it was real for a moment.
What's he doing? Is he hibernating? He's not going to talk to the people.
No.
Let him get a bit closer so we can see him.
You chased a raccoon out of your bird feeder. See, that's quality content, VMAC. You should have filmed that. People say, what did you do today? Oh, we went on Seed Stream and the wife had some weird puppet. Oh dear.
It's not really life when you think about it. You got your hand up his ass. That's all he's got to look forward to. No wonder he doesn't speak. Stick your hand up my ass, I wouldn't be able to say anything.
Okay, what I missed? Why is Ella saying lube the piles up with Vaseline, VMAC? I think I've missed a chat somewhere. No, it's true, Jen. Every day there is quality content. Yeah, that's right, Johnny G. What was the live chat today? Oh, hand puppets on seeds.
It's not looking very lifelike. You just got it lying on its side, but like it's roadkill.
Oh, I like that VMAC. She's nice. VMAC, you want to come over to my cubby hole? Do you? Make sure you bring a shawarma or two. I like shawarmas. You keep those bloody teeth away from me. Oh, hang on, I've got to scratch my ass again. Oh, that's good. Well, anyway,
I gotta go. Bye. A quick weather update. 70 degrees. I can't even see if they can see that, but
Yeah, no, they got a split second look.
uh,
Yeah, he's going to sleep now. You can't get your hand up there.
well, there you go. The raccoon.
Hang on, let me see what it is.
I don't know if I can get my hand up his arse, but I'll give it a go. Oop, sorry, mate. I know this hurts.
My beef is with the scumbags who skimmed my card details from an ATM and stole hard-earned money. Oh God, that's horrible, Emma.
Hello everybody, my name's Tucker. Want you to donate to me now, I want to buy a Ferrari. Especially you, VMAC. I know you got shitloads of money. And what I want you to do now is press the button down below that says Super Chat. And then I'll get a red Ferrari. Because red Ferraris go quicker. Yeah, they do. I'm looking. Doesn't seem to be any donations coming in yet. VMAC, where are you? Oi, I know you're there, VMAC.
Don't forget Emma and Ella, everyone. Tell them to hit the like button, you know, all that sort of thing.
Do you know what I'm going to do to you? I'm going to stick you in a pot. Lift your head up. And then I'm going to put some carrots in there. Don't be frightened.
Oh gosh.
And then what I'll do, I'll add some onions and garlic. Yep. And I'll add probably a little bit of
Have a
jus.
nice good day, Danny.
And then I'll stew you for about 3 hours.
I don't know what Danny said. Hasta.
Bye everyone.
I'm not even going to try and read that.
Yes, if you are going to help people, let's see if you can actually see them in real life. We do it. There was a homeless guy for a few days in a certain part of town, not too far away. A few bucks in his kitty. Yeah, he was drunk. But even drunks have got to eat. Well, they've got to drink a bit more maybe instead of eat, but that's real. That's in your world. That's in your sphere. It's tangible. When someone comes online and says, I've got to get a hair removed, just this one, 12 grand it's going to cost me. So if you could see it in your heart, just for this one hair to get surgically removed, and I will send this hair to the biggest donator. I'll put it in a special gold envelope and I'll send it to you.
Steve's got a gopher like that.
What?
I don't know. Have a gopher like that, he said.
A gopher.
Yeah.
Pasta la pasta. Good old pasta. That's what a lot of you guys could cook. I'm sure you all know how to make a different pasta dish. From lasagnas to raviolis to spaghetti bolognese. Seriously, if you guys let me know that you've got a cooking video up, I will watch it. I have a great deal of interest in cooking. Or gardening.
Or just general stuff. I like watching general stuff. If there's a disaster, church takes
Yep.
a collection, yeah.
That's the way to
same.
do it, Jan. But again, it's in your local area. And yes, we do donate to national tragedies, as you all like in Australia, the biggest ones, the floods or bushfires. At the same time in this country, this year we've had massive floods
Oh, and cyclones.
and fires and cyclones and hail and all in the one area and devastating. One town was washed away. So yeah, everyone chips in around Australia for that. But if you want to help someone in need, you only need to look in your local area.
Oh, yeah. I've had a dog that did that, Steve. Now I get it. He's got a puppet.
What?
Steve, you obviously...
Oh,
Yeah.
we're seeing some Steve puppetry videos coming up shortly.
Yeah.
But that's how I believe charity begins, at home, in your own area first. There's a swath of people that get sucked in to some of these lies.
My mate
Good
says
people.
She's going to have coffee with her brothers, but she'll probably have beef after that.
Sorry, I was talking and you just interrupted me
I know, but-
again.
Yeah, I have to read.
What I'm trying to say is don't get sucked in by these people. We all want to help. It's in our nature to help. I always tell people, sit back and wait a few weeks before you even think about it, because the impulse giving is what I see all the time. It's very sad. And then you find out that someone's duped you. And it's not a nice feeling at all, because it makes you then wary to help anyone else, which it goes against your nature. Yeah, I think some of the beefs within families are usually siblings. That's the biggest one.
BMAC, that's quality content. You can put that on YouTube. Just hide their faces.
No, she's talking about internal conflict in families.
Yeah, that's all right.
You're thinking about a beef dish.
No, I'm not. I'm thinking of conflict.
I don't know.
Because I know the
What am I going to do?
I know the title.
I'll
of
take
the
you back to
stream.
Studio 2 for starters.
No. Yeah, we'll sit him up there. Just put that in my face.
No, that was a raccoon.
I can hear something rustling over there.
Probably Russell.
Ha ha.
There's something creeping over there. It's probably Zia.
Yes, Jan Seeds loves chili more than I do.
Oh, love it. I love, 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 love chili.
You hear that? I've got something spooky.
I'll go and check. You stay here in the safety.
Yeah. I'll stay here with my raccoon. This is quality content right here.
As long as you're right and I go in the danger zone, I suppose. That's the main thing.
I
I
think
think
it's an animal.
it's probably the raccoon's brother.
It's probably birds in the tree. So what are we doing tomorrow? Oh, I'm going to fiddle with the camera a bit more. I have to master the video side of it.
We've got the carpenter coming around and the guy that's looking at doing the retaining wall. We've got a busy schedule
Yep.
tomorrow.
Seeds likes all chilies. He likes it hot.
Yes, I mean for me, things like
Yeah, mild's too hot for
Tabasco
me.
is like fruity to me. It's not even hot. I don't find Tabasco sauce hot at all.
Oh, so Jen's going to do a video on her taco chili
Nice.
next time. When she puts her rear into gear.
I make two types of chili sauce. When I grow a lot of chilies, I'll do a fermentation, and I'll also do one where I just cook them down slowly with honey, cider vinegar, and then I make heaps of chili sauce up, and then I always end up giving a heap away, but people love it. He's watering something, I think,
Yeah.
or
It's-
taking the leak, I'm not sure. Maybe it's his shower time.
I think it's
Garden
alright.
hose.
We can hear next door having a shower. That's a bit scary. Oh, it's falling off.
Yeah, so I guess we'll find out more tomorrow what that tragedy was and who, and hopefully find out why, because it's senseless.
Wow, 6 weeks. It's going to take Emma around 6 weeks before she gets money back
From,
from the bank that I told you way back in the message she got. Someone she got scammed.
yeah, but what happens in Australia, we're insured for that.
We get it back within 24.
No, we get it straight back. They usually put it back in.
Yeah, within 24, 48 hours.
Twice in the last 2 years, we've had Russians infiltrate the banking system, not just my account. And they would take like 20 cents, 50 cents, 80 cents. What they're doing is testing to see if it works to come out. And I found the first one, they found the second one, and they just shut everything down. So it's about a week later before you can access your account.
Yeah, the
You don't
bank,
lose any money, but
the bank actually saw the first, but they were actually keeping an eye on it. The banks keep an eye on it for you here.
Mm.
They knew about it, but we're just seeing like you were doing to see how far it would go.
well, if you're smart, you don't put a lot of money in the bank account that you use.
I have to go and get your thing.
You put money into your what we do, we've got a savings account and a check account There's no checks written, it's just called a checking account. And we have another account. Now we keep most of our money in the other account, and we'll just put bits and pieces in those accounts. In other words, they're the cards that we use to purchase or buy. So if they get hacked or the bank gets hacked, we don't lose anything anyway, but the people that try and take money can't take as much. That's probably what I'm saying. But I did speak to someone high up in the bank that I use last year, and it's something like 3% of the total funds that are put into banks are either laundering money or it's hacking people's account. You know, you would often hear about the skimmers. They put the readers in like normal ATMs. And what happens is they get your details, and then they don't even have to have your card. They simply go and
Maybe do it again.
yeah, I'll just check. I still like using a bit of cash, VMAC. I'm sort of old school. I don't know if that's working. We'll find out shortly. But there are certain things we bought a beautiful French door, massive, two panel opening door, timber, and 2 big side panels. Brand new, that's about 12 grand, but we got one that came out of an old colonial home and we paid only 2 grand for it. So I used a card for that. And then we bought beautiful colonial windows, you know, the ones with the bars that go down and across type
Oh,
thing.
so that's what Emma said, not in Sydney.
What?
It goes through the fraud department in case they think that she's lying.
Okay, that's fair enough. But, I mean, you're in Australia, your money's covered. There's a guarantee. But the biggest scam apparently is the online using data, your name, your card, and they buy things and then they sell them on things like, you call it Craigslist there, we have a thing called Gumtree. And there are police divisions that all they do all day is scour the web on things like those sites, and they find people selling like a brand new 60-inch telly for $300. So they'll go around and say, yeah, we'll buy it. And they find out that they've stolen it and they get arrested. It's very common, apparently, the police catch people by selling on things like Gumtree or Craigslist. Not sure what your other formats are. Yes, I had one happen to me once, Jan, where I was somewhere and my account was closed. But the worst one I ever had was I put my card in somewhere and it swallowed the bloody thing. I'm going,
Yeah, it took it.
give me bloody card back, you bastard. Actually got the money out, but no card. And I wasn't in the town I live. So I had to contact them and they said, oh, the easiest thing to do is we'll tell the bank to destroy that card and we'll send you another one. I said, well, I'm travelling. When will it be here? And they said, about 7 to 10 days. I said, well, I'm not home. They said, oh, that's no good. That's it. But yeah, that's awkward at best. So you carry a bit of cash just in case crap works out. Not many people carry cash these days.
I like to carry cash.
We like to have a little bit of readies, you know, just like we don't always do, but we'll stop at a garage sale and just have a sticky beak around. I might want $60 for that, and you think, well, they're not going to take a card. They just want the cash. And I can assure you, when we get certain jobs done on the extension, there'll be a little bit of cash going to a bloke saying, well, instead of $350, will you do it for $220 cash? And they'll go, yeah, right. So he doesn't pay any tax on it and I get a cheap job. Nothing wrong with that. You know, why give everything to the government? Well, I heard that, Kathy, but the thing is here, they go through the protocols. Like, I've got a card at the moment I've got to get replaced. You know the cards that you can just tap? You know, beep, beep. Well, they sent me a new card. I didn't even want it. They sent me a new card and said, I'll just destroy your old card and use this one. It stopped working. I went to about 5 or 6 different places and it would tap and it'd get that noise and it would say, declined. And I'm thinking, well, there's money in there. What are you talking about? And I went to the bank and they said, no, it should work. Because I could use it to take money out of a teller machine, but I couldn't use it to buy in a shop. So I went back and said, look, you're wrong. It's not working. I've been to places. And they said, oh, we'll send you another card. And I said, how long will that be? They said about 7 to 10 days. It's a phenomenon. Everything's 7 to 10 days. My bank claims to verify for mate. Actually, what we've done, and I advise all of you if you ever do travel overseas in particular, I've advised my bank that we will be in certain countries on certain dates, and we will be using my debit card. G'day, Annette. So they know that I'm using that card in a foreign country. But I have a start date and an end date to when I use that card. So it can't be used after. In other words, if someone skims my information in a different country, they won't be able to use it. Just a little tip, if you're travelling overseas, use the facility. You can do it online, but I'm not clever enough to do it. So we went down and got them to do it. Oh, look, what we do, Jan, generally when we travel to a different country, we take their currency with us. Like we pulled out just about enough money to use in cash. You know, in this case, we're using euro and British pounds. So it's there, and we'll split the cash up between us. You know, Mrs. have a couple of grand, I'll have a couple of grand.
Oh, cool.
Well, I don't even know where the money is. You put it away somewhere, so. But that's, and we'll take a little bit of our own currency, because everywhere you go to any airport in any country. Like if we stop in Singapore for an hour or two, I'll just hand them 20 bucks Australian, and I'll get money from an exchange at the airport.
I think we'll use the travel Visa card. Did you know?
They don't take it in little shops. When I was in Singapore, they said, no. I had it, as I'm saying, I had that little card.
Well, we'll have cash, but
Cash.
on those Visa cards for other things, you can actually put more than one currency
I
on
know.
the card.
No, but the thing is, what I'm saying is the shop wouldn't take the card. They don't
Oh,
use EFTPOS, so they said, no, we just use... Because, like, you buy a meal at Singapore airport, it's like, in Australian dollars, like $3, but it's like 7 ringgit or whatever it is they use. So just get a handful of their cash, because when you come back to your own country, there are plenty of exchanges to turn it back into your own currency. You don't get a super rate, of course. The funniest place that we went once and used their currency, because we had to, because we were travelling around for about a week and a bit in Vietnam, weren't we? We had to get Vietnamese dong. I'm not making it up, D-O-N-G. That's the name of their currency. In Australia, if someone says, I'll show you my dong, it's very offensive. But yeah, and I went to a mate of mine was with us, and he actually didn't have access to his bank. And he said, could you give me some money? I said, yeah, sure. I said, what do you need? He said, oh, about £1,000 Aussie. So I went down and got him the money. I'm not kidding you. A £1,000 Aussie would fit in my hand about that thick, which is 10 $100 notes. Anyway, I went to the bank in Vietnam, and in Ho Chi Minh, and I said, oh, I need $1,000 converted into dong. The guy looked at me and said, you sure? I said, yeah. He gave me a bag of money. I'm not kidding you. It weighed about 10 pound. You know, I said to my mate, here's your money. He said, holy shit. So everywhere in Vietnam, you walk around with your wallet about 4 inches thick, and you can't spend it, because like it's cheap, everything's so cheap. But the bit I said to him, you've got to be quite careful, because you can't change Vietnamese dong in Australia when he got back. They don't do a currency change on it. So you either have to do it in Vietnam, or you just end up with a lot of dong.
Yeah, Steve's going to be rich after he's done his tax.
Why?
Well, he just said he's going to be rich after he's done his tax. He'll feel rich.
Sounds good. You mean rich for a couple of days, I imagine. We got tax credits this year. The government here doesn't give you, in business, they'll say to you, oh, I'll tell you what, you do a bit of tax back. I think ours is about 5 and something grand, and they said, we'll just keep it, you know, so next year. So they hang on to it, the bastards. It's called a tax credit. Mongrels. But yeah, travelling around different countries of the world, the currency is always, you're always like confused. Like in Thailand, the baht, it's very colourful. Our currency is quite colourful too in Australia, but the baht is quite colourful. But again, you get so much baht, and you'll go to, like, I would say, oh, how much is that? And they'd say 20 baht. And I'm thinking I've got 50,000 in baht. So how much baht is that meal? They go 20.
Have a good day, VMAC.
So you give them
carefully give them a 500 baht note and they go, how am I going to change that?
Say
Would
goodbye to the VMAC.
Goodbye, VMAC. Looking forward to your video. I've seen American currency. I think they've changed the 50 and the 100, I think, in the US. Got a bit of colour in your currency, but I remember years ago it was just green or grey. Wasn't very colourful at all. And in fact, a lot of Aussies would say we'd go over there and we've got a 5 and a 50 and 100, and they'd have to double check in their wallet to make sure they weren't giving people too much money. And we don't tip in Australia. Actually, very few countries tip.
Americans do.
No, I know, Americans do. It's part of the gratuity because they don't get paid anything per hour working for somebody. Yeah, UK British pound's quite colourful. So does the euro. All looks like Monopoly money to me. But it'll buy us a feed when we're over there and a nice Guinness. But yeah, a lot of different countries go back to the tipping. You don't tip. In Australia, if me and Steve went out for a feed, in Australia we'd like two couples to spend 150 bucks on a meal. You might throw 20 bucks into, because most of the places in Australia will have a little jar, a little tip jar. It's not compulsory though. You just go, there you go.
Indonesia and Bali, you tip.
Yeah, but no one forces you to. Like in America, if you didn't tip, they'd look at you sideways. Like if 3 of these people in the chat took me out to dinner, and I said, I'll fix it up, and it was 100 bucks for the meal. The waitress got nothing from me. They'd all scour at me saying, aren't you going to give us something? The reason is they don't pay them enough per hour. We had a good friend in Arkansas that was getting paid, I'm not kidding you, $3.50 an hour, and the only way she survived was on tips. But how is a company allowed to do that to its employees? That's atrocious. You're basically just hoping that people will tip you so you can make a wage.
Yeah, the tip jars in Australia are on the counter and they're shared by all the workers.
Yeah. Yeah, most of the time, Steve, we've always taken Aussie dollars to a different country, and you get a much better rate in any of the exchange booths in different countries than you ever would do from a bank. The bank just burns you. But foreign currency is very attractive to people in different countries for different reasons. But anyway, time to take you back to Studio 2. I've wasted far much of your time.
Far much?
Far much. I just forgot to throw the 2 in there.
Far much. They have a minimum wage for their wait staff. Is that in America?
I'm pretty sure mates might have told me it's about 15 or 20% is the tip generally.
Jan said they tip with gold dollars on vacation. Most waitresses have never seen them. Seeds, you have a couple of Aussie dollars here.
I do.
Emma said that.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
I don't know what context it's been said in, so I don't understand.
I don't know, I can't relate to you.
Does she want to see some Australian currency? I don't know what I've got, but I'm going to look. I think so.
Emma, you're in Sydney, aren't you?
She's US.
Oh. You got no money. He's got no money. I've got it all.
I don't carry much cash around myself.
Did you see him? He just walked out the door. They saw your body.
If you like my body and
show 'em
you
the
think I'm
pictures there, are you?
old, let me know. That's the most expensive currency I carry. I don't know if you can see that.
Move it over a bit. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. But I've only got a couple
Have a
of...
good sleep, Jan. Jan's going back to bed. Yeah, it's Emma's in Sydney.
In Sydney.
Yeah, I was right. Damn, Emma, when we were in Sydney, if we had known, we could have caught up
That is a $20 Australian note on one side. And on the other side, they're just obviously historical characters. And I've only got 50s.
Yes. See, the
But-
joke flew over your head.
Did it? Thanks, Emma. I don't get to see all the context of the text. That's a 50. That's for you, Emma, since you're in America, saying you're in Australia. That's a $50. Yeah? With Neville on there. Or David, actually. And on the back, another character. That looks a lot like Mama Bear.
Oh God, don't say that.
Praise the Lord! Praise the Lord! That's a $50 Australian note. And the $10 note's blue. The $5 note's purple. And we used to have $2 and $1 notes. We've still got a few of the old currency. You saved a few of them, haven't you?
Of which one?
$1s and $2.
Yes, yeah.
Is
but
that one and-
they're- I
one-
can't show them they're packed.
$1 and $2 are coins now. Which is weird because the dollar coin's this big and the $2 coin's only that big. It don't make any sense. You're forever losing $2 coins. And you can get a higher denomination from the bank than 100. 100 is sort of bluey grey, isn't it?
Yeah.
But if you go back a few videos, you'll see, I'll show you a few of those $100 notes. But we're going to shoot off. I think we're just about shot, aren't we now? Finished
Yes,
for the
yeah.
evening?
Have a good evening, night, day, morning.
Yep.
Breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Well, wherever
snack.
you are, have a good day. Treat people like you'd like to be treated, but those that you need to stand on their throat, do so. It's called social justice. So it's good night from me.
And good night from me.
What about Ricky?
Oh, well, he's asleep. Ricky the raccoon.
Getting really close to the camera.
Good night, everybody. I love yous all.